Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. First of all, I like to appreciate that the devotees, even though pandemic, we have so many restrictions, but you have taken your valuable time to gather together to glorify Krishna and understanding this philosophy so you can advance in spiritual science. Also, I'm very grateful those devotees came on the Zoom that can be benefited. Just little technology.
Can you hear now?
Saranga Prabhu, can you hear me? He's in Miami. Gopal Radhe Prabhu, you are in New Orleans. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. The echo in the mic is because there is more mics on in that same room. So you can only keep one mic on. Otherwise it will echo.
Yes, Prabhu, I can hear you very well.
Yep, we can hear you.
Thank you. So we'll start with that. So today's discussion is, we put out 4 questions. What is Dharma? What is religion? What is faith? The first question, what are the similarities and differences? So I was researching a little bit in the dictionary. What is the meaning of Dharma? The dictionaries or Googles can confuse you easily. You will go nowhere. Or you could be more confused than before. You start searching. Because they try to give everybody's opinion, but it doesn't have. But what the conclusion I got, the Western view of religion is 2. One is reflected. Reflected means they think those who are very intelligent, thoughtful, they adopt this spiritual path and they're peaceful. And then there is another is popularity, like Salvation Army, Hare Krishnas. That's how they think. There's 2 concepts of religion in America, you can say, or in the Western world. But Srila Prabhupada, to Amarendra Prabhu, he said, this Krishna consciousness is the science of sound vibration. It is not religion. It's a science of sound vibration. So I found some quotes from Srila Prabhupada's different lectures. And this is from Madhya-lila 25th chapter, text 20. If a person is religious, he must accept the supreme authority of the Lord, become his devotee and try to love him. This is the real principle of religion. It doesn't matter whether one is a Christian, Muslim or whatever. Now, did you pay attention? He actually does not consider those as a religion. Hindus, they are different kind of faith. Teachings of Queen Kunti, Srila Prabhupada says, the word dharma means duty. Although the word dharma is often translated as religion, and religion is generally defined as a kind of faith, dharma is not a fact of kind of faith. Dharma means one's actual constitutional duty. It is one's duty to know the needs of the soul. But unfortunately, we have no information of the soul and are simply busy supplying the demands and needs of the body. If you seriously think surrounding us, even in Alachua, everybody is busy supplying the needs of their body and mind. Nobody thinks of the needs of the soul. They don't even think that conception is not there. 1966, Srila Prabhupada gave a Bhagavad Gita introduction lecture. He gave a beautiful explanation. So if I keep on speaking, you may get confused, but purpose is not to get confused. Purpose is that in the WhatsApp, whoever is WhatsApp group, we have over 100 now. You got this poster last minute, few minutes back, Gopal Radhipur. He sent the poster that all the religion you have to see in 3 ways. And if you can remember this, you can grasp the whole lecture, and actually it will help you whole life. So I'm going to give the first explanation of those 3. First is called Nitya Dharma. An object, any object, it's Sanskrit called Bostu. There's a famous verse in Bhagavatam, Veddam Vastavam Atra Bostu Shivadam Trapa Trayana Mulanam. What is this spiritual knowledge, Bhagavatam, glorifying this? Dharma Prajita Kaita Batra Parama Nirmat Saranam Satam Veddam Vastavam Atra Bostu Shivadam Tapatrayana Mulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kingba Pare Ishara Saddaridiya Baruddate Kritivi Shusrushubi Tachkanat. That if you can perceive through Bhagavatam what is the real truth, reality is absolute truth. When you realize, then it will diminish the illusion from your heart, from your perception. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave a commentary on it, that eternal nature of a substance. When we say about God, God is also a substance. Bostu, in Sanskrit called Bostu. You are also a Bostu, substance. He is a Bostu, she is a Bostu, or substance. So when a substance is originally formed or structured, an inherent nature arises which is inseparable from the substance. And if you say this is difficult to understand, then you can never understand spiritual science. This is very important. Just like, I give you an example, because I was a gemologist and geologist before this in the material world. I dealt with the jewelry business. So when you form a graphite, pencil you write, or you form a diamond, both diamond and graphite has a one elements, Do you know what it is? Carbon. What causes diamond to be the hardest mineral in the world? And what causes graphite to fall and drop? It's very soft. But both has the same. How this inherent nature comes out difference? Because the way it is structured, the way it is formed. Diamond is formed in an isometric, mean the atomic structure is so tight, nothing can intervene, so it became the hardest. You can cut anything with diamond. But graphite, anytime you draw, it drops from the pen. You follow? But both has the same chemical, carbon. But because the structure, hexographic, the graphite is a hexographic, so it has no atomic tightness, it drops. Similarly, when a potency or God, how the gods originally created himself, the structure has an inherent nature. Just like fire has a burning quality. Can you separate burning quality from fire? Do you know? Not possible. And if you do, then it is not fire. Similarly, the soul, the conscious being or God, their also original formation has an inherent nature which is inseparable. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Prabhupada actually in 1966, he gave this example in morning class, Bhagavad Gita introduction, that if you have a glass of water and liquidity in the water is coming from where? Structure. Very good. I'm glad you got it. The liquidity is a natural nature emanating from the structure of the water. Now, if you take that cup of water in the freezing condition, it will become ice cube. What happened? What happened to the liquidity? Structure changes, but is the liquidity gone? No, it is there in a latent. It means with intelligence, it is there, but it is not visible. Yes, when you take it out from the ice to the normal temperature, you will see that same nature will come back. Similarly, when the soul originally formed, even original of God's form, the inherent nature is never separable from the origin. Everybody understood that point? That nature of the soul is love. Position, original position of that form of the soul is servant of God. And function of that soul is service. You have to remember this. These three things will never change. In relation to God and us, we both have the same nature. What is pure love? Through that connection, one soul can ignite the entire creation in love with that connection, because you have the same connection with God, same nature when you have that connection. That is in Sanskrit or Vaishnava language called Dharma, Nitya Dharma, eternal religion. Or you can say religion, you can say Dharma, whatever. We are not fighting with the word, and we are not going to judge any society or any religious organization or anything. You follow? But today we are going to learn the principle that what is religion, what is dharma, and what is faith. So there, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Prabhupada explained that every structure of each energy of God has its own, just like fire has a burning quality, you cannot challenge that why fire has a burning quality. That's not good. It only burns. It should do something else. No, that's what it made of. You follow? So material nature also made with a particular temporary and misery. And it is not necessary we should lament if something dies or something bad happens. That's how it is made of, this material world. That's what is nature. But our nature is not same as this. So we are in a wrong place with our original nature, original function. Three things everybody remembers, right? The function, eternal function is service. Eternal nature is love. Eternal position is servant. These three things makes eternal religion. You follow? These three things makes eternal religion. Now, when water has a liquidity, that is eternal nature. When the water in freezing condition, this is called circumstantial. Circumstantial means it is not visible its original nature. Just like if you go outside right now, if we go to the mall or somewhere, we say, you are a lover of Krishna. They probably, what? You're thinking like you never heard even such thing or something. How is possible? Because ice does not have that visibility of liquidity. You follow? Does it mean that it is not there? But it's required intelligence to see it. Let's see what other acharyas also say. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says, religion means proper adjustment. He used to say that proper adjustment requires sambandha gyan. What is the relationship between God with the nature and with the soul? What is my relationship with the nature? What is nature relationship with God, Krishna, or Krishna's relationship with me? And then he writes, then one's service will come accordingly. One's necessity, one's destination will be established from that after relationship is established. Until the relationship is established, you can never find out. Sanatana Goswami Pad is the Acharya of Sambandha Gyan. He asked this question to Lord Chaitanya. Ke ami, kene amai, jare tapatroy. Who am I? Where am I coming from? All these questions. Why am I troubled? So the real purpose of life, and answered when there are proper adjustment with the absolute and the relative, nothing can be sacrificed. And one thing we must always keep in mind is that we cannot investigate all of the subtle higher knowledge as a subjective researcher. Rather, according to the degree of our surrender. In other words, the spiritual knowledge, what is spiritual religion, what is the ultimate cause and everything, you can never know until you come to a point of submit yourself, surrender. Because higher dimension will never reveal to you unless they see you are a proper candidate. And only way you can learn if you learn how to surrender. We must always remember this, otherwise some spirit of imitation will be created in us. And this is the biggest problem. Also he says, Dharma means Varnashram Dharma, Vedic social stratification. You are posted in your present position by your previous karma. According to your present position, you have to discharge your duties on one condition. You must do them without remuneration. If you go on with your duties in Varnashram Dharma without any mundane aim, you can achieve Krishna Bhakti, devotion to God. Jiva Goswami Pad, who is one of our scholarly Guru Parampara, in Bhakti Sandarbha, Anuched 312.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. We can't hear.
It seems like we lost connection. We can't hear you, Prabhu.
Yeah. It seems that he can't hear us too.
There's no sound.
It's okay. Now, the second question was asked, how can I change my dharma, religion or faith? Is it possible? Well, 1966, November 14th, Srila Prabhupada gave a beautiful lecture. He says, we should know that what is the meaning of religion? Religion means which we cannot separate from myself. It's the same thing we discussed before. You follow? We should know that what is the meaning of religion? Religion means which we cannot separate from myself. The religion which you can change, that is not religion. That is faith. Suppose I am Hindu, suppose I am Christian. So neither this Hinduism or Christianism is actually eternal religion. It is a dictionary, English dictionary word. But dharma, according to Sanskrit word, dharma does not mean that which you can change. I have several times explained this fact. Dharma cannot be changed. What you are originally, you can never change. Therefore, we must find what is our dharma, what is our religion, which then Prabhupada using the word religion, but he also said religion means faith. Faith can be changed. Lord Krishna says there are 4 types of faith. One is eternal faith, and then when that eternal faith comes in contact with the material nature, it manifests another 3 faith. And there's a beautiful sloka he quoted in 11th canto. Sattiki adhatmiki shraddha karma shraddha surajasa. Tamasi adharma shraddha mat shraddha su nirguna. The original faith that is we have, it can never change. Now, if you say, I believe God, that is also faith. You follow? Faith is eternal also. Faith cannot be created. But original faith is only with those 3 principles. You have a nature of love, your function is servant, and your, what's the other one? Position. A servant and function is service. How do dharma, religion, and faith manifest? Actually, it's the day 1. The moment the creation took place, there was a Vaishnava dharma. You know the Hare Krishna philosophy? The moment the creation took place, Hare Krishna philosophy was there. Who is our founder of this parampara? Brahmaji. Who was the first created being? It's him. He was the first Hare Krishna people. Generally in the West, we think the Hare Krishnas are new. It's a new religion or something. No, it is eternal. Also in the material world, first. At the same time, there was also impersonalism. There's also Mayavad in the beginning of the creation started. So it is almost always there, but it becomes visible when leaders promote this. Like before Prabhupada came, nobody knew Hare Krishna philosophy. But then Prabhupada came and out of his compassionate mercy, he made it. And now the devotees are pushing, so it's becoming more and more. Also, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave some idea about the human race, there are 5 types of human, as we all know, right? First type of human is that their consciousness, evolution of consciousness are different. If you meet people, you'll see one of those 5 types of people in this country. First group is immoral atheist. They don't have a plug or they don't say, I am immoral atheist. But when you talk to them, you find out. They don't care anything and they don't believe in anything. They're called immoral atheist human being. Then there is a second group is immoral theist. They are believer, but they do all kinds of weird stuff. Like there is a one Hindu, he has a cow's, what do you call those, leather factory. But he does big Hindu puja. But he has a big leather factory, killing the cows and selling, making money. More money he makes, he does more puja. And you think like, what kind of person is that? Is he a believer? Yeah, he's a believer. But he doesn't have any consciousness that he's doing such a harm things to the world by killing the cows. So first group is immoral atheist. Second is immoral theist. And third is moral. That group is there and they're all over. I mean, you will never know because they don't, there's no sign physical. But when you talk to them, but above them are the theists or devotee. And the highest one is pure devotee. So there's 5 types of human being. Srila Bhishmadev in Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 9th chapter, text 26, he says, Bhishmadev advised that to live harmoniously in a society, because all this law, why all this law is made? Why all this law is made? To keep everybody peaceful, not to have a conflict. If you really think, what is the purpose of the law? Like driving, DMD, what is the purpose? To have a safety. You have a privilege, but within the restriction. So those who are intelligent, they see the rules as a protection. But those who are not intelligent, they see the rules as a restriction, suffocation. They feel like, it's too much. But those who are intelligent, they see it's a very protection, it's healthy. Like 4 regulative principle Prabhupada gave in our ISKCON society. Those who are intelligent, they see the 4 regulative principle keeps them liberated. They are above the modes. Even though we are in Alachua, those who are strictly following, they are above the modes. They can feel it, that they have nothing touching. But those who cannot fit for that, and they drown with this emotion, fighting within their own mind, even amongst us. Some are going through like a nightmare, relationship, this, that, so much problem because of this. So Bhishmadev made very nice. He said, he advised all the human being 9 qualifications. Number 1, what happened? Number 1, not to become angry. Number 2, not to lie. To equally distribute wealth. to forgive, to beget children only by one's legitimate wife, to be pure in mind, hygienic in body, not to be inimical towards anyone. Number 8, to be simple. Number 9, to support servants of subordinates. One cannot be called a civilized person without acquiring these above mentioned primary qualities. You think everybody follows these 9 principles? Thank you. But they should. If you want to have a civilized human culture in Alachu or anywhere, these 9 principles are suggested by Bhagavatam, Bhishmadev, 19.26. Everybody heard that, right? Good. Now, the last question was reconciling a variety of viewpoints. How can we see all the religion of the world? So, as I mentioned in the beginning, all the religion in the world has to be seen in 3 ways. And today my goal is, how many of you are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You must tell me before you leave that you got these 3 concepts. You have no choice because you all came here because you are devotee and you want to advance. And also the online audience and the Zoom, you all have to also. Please write it down. This is important. I send it, Gopal Radhapu send it on the WhatsApp group. That you must remember these 3 concepts. First is Nitya Dharma, eternal religion. You must remember that. So eternal religion has 3 things you must remember. A religion, okay, I'm going to go maybe from the bottom to the top, will be easier. First, we are going to discuss what is not eternal in the name of religion, but make sure you don't become judgmental or sentimental. Don't judge the other religion. But we must be aware that where the mistake is. There are some religion, they do not talk about eternal existence of God at all. I personally went in Gainesville to one group for 1 week and I thoroughly investigated. They are very peaceful people, but so is the animal also peaceful sometimes. That doesn't mean they are in a higher consciousness. You follow? They are non-violent, but they have no clue what religion is. So 3 things must remember. They do not speak the eternity of God. They do not speak the eternality of soul. And they do not talk about eternality of relationship with the nature and the soul and God. Everybody follow? What did I say? 3 things?
Eternal religion, eternal soul.
Wow, they hear it better online. But you are here, seeing my face. It's a ghost to you. No, you have to remember, they do not believe eternal existence of God. They do not even talk about God. One of the biggest religion in the world, I don't want to mention the name. They never talk about the eternal form of God, period. They do not even discuss that you are eternal. And they do not talk about the relationship between the Lord and the material nature and you are eternal. These 3 things, those who do not discuss, they are called temporary religion. They are religion in a sense because they are known as a religion. And I can name few right now, but I won't say it because it is not proper. But we must understand this has nothing to do with the soul. It's only dealing with the mental system and the body. You follow? So what should we do with those people? Bring them prasadam, bring them close to Krishna, eternal life. So this is called temporary religion. Second is circumstantial religion. Circumstantial religion means a religion that believes in the eternity of both. They believe in Supreme God. They believe also us as a Supreme, but they do not believe in relationship, neither they want eternal loving service to God. Very key point. If you want, you can write it down in your throat. It is necessary to understand this. They will talk about God. Yes, God is, we believe God is eternal. Yes, what about us? Yes, we are eternal too. We'll go to God. But what you will do there? Nothing. They will go there because they will have their own mansion. They will live there. They don't want to go to hell, or they will go there to have an eternal life. Nothing to do with their love, exchange with God, or service. You follow? These are not eternal religion either. These are called circumstantial. You'll find many people, big. There's a one religion, one of the three actually. Anyway, I shouldn't go too close. They actually have this. So can you see the difference between the temporary religion versus circumstantial religion? We call Anitya Dharma, Naimittik Dharma. Amongst us, within this Alachua, you'll find 50% people, either this group or that group. Even though they may go to church, they may go to temple, they may go to mosque, they may go, but their belief, their understanding what will take them next life. First group, we said, they do not accept they do not believe that there is an eternal relationship. They do not believe there is an eternal existence of God, or you are eternal. They think when death comes, you may, even some groups, they say you reincarnate. Then what happened? You come to at the end where everything finished, purified, gone. Then what happened to you? Say it's not important. I said, that's atheist. At the end, you're nothing. I say, well, what's the problem? I say, what's the problem? I don't want to be at the end nothing. Then what am I doing? What's the purpose of living? You follow? This group exists amongst us. And these are called temporary religion. It has nothing to do with the soul. Soul is eternal. Soul will never be happy with this kind of religion. The second religion is circumstantial. They believe eternal. Yes, we are eternal. God is eternal. This material nature is temporary, comes and goes, also eternal, has a relationship. But two things are missing. What are those? They do not focus on love. Loving God, serving God, and living there with Him. They do not focus these two. That's why they are not eternal religion either. They will go somewhere, like stuck in this, Brahman or something. But it is not eternal. Why? Because the soul has an eternal relationship with God. Soul has an eternal form. Soul has a love. Soul wants to experience the loving exchange with the Lord. You follow? Those things are missing. Okay. Now, little more. We have a few minutes. Little more explanation on the eternal religion. That you have to remember. Religion which prescribed pure, unmotivated, eternal, devotional service to Supreme Lord. This is the key point. Devotional service, which is pure devotional service. Somebody is worshipping God, somebody is chanting God's name, doesn't mean they are devotee. Their intention is half, their action is half. Both has to be devotional. My intention, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, one devotee named Ram, well, he's not a devotee, Ramdas Vishwas. He knew Ram Leela, he would cry for Ram. And Mahaprabhu said he doesn't want to see him. So then they were like puzzled. He's so much devotional, he cries for Ram. Why Lord Chaitanya didn't want to see? They pressure Lord Chaitanya, can't you just give your darshan, mercy? Mahaprabhu said, then you live with him, I'm living. They thought, oh, this is danger. This is very serious. So they investigated. What is your point? Is Lord Ram eternal? Said, yes. You have a feeling for him? Yes. And what is your relation with him? Say, I want to merge in him. He doesn't want to serve. If you don't have it, you don't have really feeling, ask yourself, examine yourself right now. Do you have a feeling for the God? Do you want to serve Him? You don't have feeling, even though you act like a devotee, you are not performing eternal religion. You follow? Soul has an eternal relationship. Soul has an eternal service, eternal love with the Lord. Those things are not focused internally. Just externally doing the service is not going to take us to the eternal Dharma. Of course, Krishna consciousness is little cream of the, or you can say cream on the ice, ice on the maybe cake. I see. Cherry on the, okay. This is from Srila Prabhupada's, let's see where it is. It's in Adi Lila chapter 4:33. The Raghunath Das Goswami says, forget about religion, non-religion, forget everything. Just worship Radha Krishna of Vrindavan with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu under your Guru's guidance, following Rupa Goswami. That solves everything. Now that's not a fanaticism or anything. This is the cream of eternal religion. So what is the eternal cream of the eternal religion? You serve Radha Krishna with Mahaprabhu under this Rupa Goswami's Guru Parampara. That is the essence of eternal religion. And more details you can read there. Also Madhya Lila chapter 8:63. And there are many, many verses actually back up what I'm speaking so long. So we need Krishna's experience more than Krishna explanation. That will convince us more. Do you agree? Experience takes us. If you experience her love in your life, you will love her more. If somebody only tells you or she loves you, but that's explanation, will convince you more or experience will convince? Which one?
Experience.
Thank you. They can hear. You are closer. Experience. Very good. We don't feel like, so I'm just giving a little antidote. Doing what we don't feel like doing is not necessarily being superficial, because some devotee may say, well, I'm doing for so many decades, how come I don't have that feeling of eternal religion function? Some people may ask, why should I practice chanting or bhakti when I don't feel like doing it? I don't want to be superficial. I don't want to do it for show. Our proposition is, even if you don't feel like practicing bhakti or chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but if we keep on chanting, then you are doing just the opposite of being superficial. Why? Because deep down in our heart, when you actually come to the soul level, you have to pass through the physical, vital, those two are sensual, then mental, then intellectual, then the heart, where the soul and the super soul is there. When you come to the soul level, then you will feel, when you come to that point by chanting, you'll feel that you have an innate longing for Krishna. That is the evidence. At that time, nobody need to convince you. You will be automatically convinced. You will feel that connection and you will spiritualize your consciousness. Spiritualize consciousness means you will experience the indestructibility of spiritual reality. That I'm real, I'm eternal, Krishna is real, my relationship is real. And that connection, when it becomes in relation of progression, more steady and strong, even if material insecurity like a sickness or COVID or whatever problem in this world may inflict you at material level, but spiritually you can still relish the security of Krishna's joyful relationship. That is required. Then the eternal religion will be revealed in the heart. That time nobody has to need to convince you. You are already convinced. That time you will convince others because you will conviction and determination will take you. I'm going to stop here. If there is any question, reflection, and further. I am sorry I didn't talk much about faith, but because faith itself is a big subject. Any question, comments?
Hare Krishna, Ram Govinda Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances.
Sarvatara, Peyton Rouge.
I offer respectful obeisance to other Vaishnavas who are listening Prabhu's class. So thank you so much. Just question we'll discuss all the time we discuss, but I feel so grateful to you. You are giving very scientific explanation. Though we are devotees many years, but we need to know, then we can come out not explanation, for experience. Krishna consciousness, really if we don't experience, then actually we are not advancing. So thank you so much for this point. Actually, all the time I am feeling. So please give us mercy so we can advance and we can have that strong faith through Vaishnavas and Prabhupada. And thank you so much. I'll ask some other questions some other time.
Thank you, Prabhu, for joining. Nice to see. He's running a big preaching center. It's called Baton Rouge, New Orleans. Nice preacher. Any other reflection?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I have a question. You were talking about the immoral atheist and the immoral theist. What can we tell them about God or Krishna? So what can they grasp?
Will be the easiest thing. Bake some cookies. Offer to Krishna and offer them cookies. Okay. Don't tell them anything about God.
Okay.
Because they have to have some kind of connection with prasadam, and then their heart will soften, then they will be inquisitive. Or you can give them a big book.
Okay.
Because I think the connection, I like the way Prabhupada set up. He said 4 ways you can benefit others. If they give donation, if they took a book, or if they took prasadam, or if they chant. This one of the 4 ways can be benefited. If we think this 4 ways, then we can always. It's a nice question, Mata.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Nitya Galang.
Dandavats, Prabhuji. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you for the wonderful class. Yeah. You said that there are 5 types of human beings. Within that, there are like immoral atheists, immoral theists. The third one is that moral theist.
Yes.
And then 4th is practicing devotees, and then 5th is pure devotees. Is that?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. And I have
You
one
are
question.
5.
Yes. No, I'm I'm stuck between maybe around 3, not even practicing properly. Yeah. There is still I have a question regarding this religion and faith, because regarding this dharma, religion and faith, we know that our eternal nature or the dharma is to love and serve the Supreme. But then if you see, even though we are saying it's a Christian faith or a Hindu faith, what we are saying is our eternal dharma or eternal religion is to serve and love the God. And when we see the religions within this, the faiths within this, within the world, for example, we have Christianity, Muslim, and we use that, we say that, we don't say that it's a faith, but we interchangeably use this as a religion. So it's a little confusing, using the religion with dharma and also using the religion with faith. So what do you think is the correct way of using this religion? Is it tied up to dharma or to the faith?
You know, it's a very interesting question, because I was observing Srila Prabhupada use this both. Because we cannot fight with the words. We have to fight by the principle.
Okay. Yeah.
Eternal religion means 3 things. Permanent. The soul is eternal, God is eternal, and the material nature is eternal with temporary manifestation. And there is a loving service is eternally existing. On that base, this is eternal religion. Whether somebody is Christian, Muslim, Hindu, or Hare Krishna, but if they are not focusing on this eternal loving relationship, because our relationship with Krishna is what? It's love.
Yeah.
Relationship means love, it's a feeling, awareness, serving. If those things are not focused, whether it's focused by, I would say, proportion to that 3 principle found in any person or any organization, that much that person is advanced. Make sense?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
But then there is a second category who believes God is eternal, they are eternal, but they do not believe in love and service. They are just there, hanging there. They are not actually coming to eternal religion. They are circumstantial religion. Because the soul is eternal, so they are kind of deprived in a sense. So in that case, you can use dharma, you can use religion, you can use faith. But what is faith really? Faith is, in our language, faith is the only means that which we can see, we can feel the higher world through the faith. Just like the eye can see the color, the building, fan, and others, faith also can see the higher principle, higher God, higher relationship. Faith has its own eye, not this eye.
Mhm.
That's why we say we want to see the God through the medium of ear, what we hear, not through the medium of eye.
Yeah.
So technically, you question that whether it's a religion or dharma, it's the same thing at the same time, underlining what is that principle.
Okay.
But you made a very good point. One person told me, "Do you believe in Jesus?" I said, "What will be the difference?" He said, "If you believe Jesus, I'm your friend." I said, "But who is Jesus?" He said, "That's not important. Do you believe it?" I said, "Okay, I believe it, so we'll have a friend." And that's how some people are. They don't get it. It's hard. Thank you, Prabhu. It was a nice question.
Yeah.
Any
Thank you,
other
Prabhu.
relevant? Thank you. Oh, Mataji, Kishore Rani.
Just a small addition from it, as regarding also this religion, and you told it people, is it more like people understand it, or it's because my feeling is that I'm not sure that I'm right, that all main religions, they have this eternal religions, the base of this love of God, but how people follow those religions is different. So it's about following those religions.
I wish the internet audience could hear you. Can you repeat close by? It's a very nice question. That some of the, maybe I'm paraphrasing, some of the religious organization or person, could be individual, could be collectively, they may hear the loving relationship, loving service to God, but maybe they don't, their focus is different than our focus. A good example, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains in Jaiva Dharma that there's a movie called Laila Majnu. I don't know if you ever, anybody heard it. I saw it when I was a little boy in India. The ruh, the word ruh, pure soul, it's in Quran. And ishq means pure love in Arabic language. Ishq means pure love. So when it comes to define the pure love, it's written in Quran, but they don't practice this. Then question comes, why they don't practice? Because they do not have a deity worship, they do not have an explanation of the God's form or loving exchange with the devotee. They believe there is a God, they believe there is a God has a form, but there is no further explanation. So then the explanation twisted by this their interpreter, one, his name is Hafiz. Yeah, Hafiz, a big Quran explainer. He said, like, when you feel attraction to the opposite sex, that is ishq. As a result, you will see that amongst that group in the Muslim religion, they don't mind to have more wives or expand like this, and they think this is what the love of Godhead is. But then when question comes that this is temporary body, will be dead, what happened after this? What happened, the pure love in the spiritual world? No explanation. So it's not that it is not there, but it is misinterpreted and applied in a wrong way. It's also in the Sufis. I read some of there one time. Just like in, if you practice 40 years on Judaism, then you can read, you are eligible to read Kabbalah. They know that. So you go, if you read Kabbalah, Kabbalah has a very esoteric pastimes, even like God's form is like the word Shema, the bluish, it's also there in Kabbalah, Judaism. But how many people ever think? I have a very close friend, one rabbi in Gainesville, and we had a long talk. And he said, nobody discussed those. They just want to follow the rules, 10 commandments, that's it. But beyond that, hardly anybody discuss. So it is there, but it is not discussed. In Krishna consciousness, what happened? This is there, but they practically apply and they practice on it. That is the big difference. That's why it looks like a Hare Krishna is a little different than the other. Hare Krishna. Any other? Otherwise, we can close it so we can on time. Everybody can go back to their. And we'll come up with the next week new questions and we'll send it out early, like within a day or two. And I'm glad Rohini Nandan Prabhu also there.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I have one question.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, like you mentioned that as we practice Krishna consciousness, like chanting and deity worship, things get monotonous, and there is a fear that eventually it will become superficial. And you said, no, it will not become superficial, because deep down within us, we have an inner a longing for Krishna. So my question is, how do we prevent that? What do you do to protect yourself from, the devotional activities becoming monotonous or superficial? How do I protect myself from that? Thank you, Prabhu.
The best thing will be, don't depend on your own. You depend on spiritual master, guru, sadhus. They have the reality actually exists with those devotees who are always in reality. With their association, we can also start seeing the reality. But if I depend on my own world, own mind, then we may be following, but there is a chances are like doubt is there, disconnect is also can be there. We should always remember, Satam Prasangat Mama Virja Sangvidam. Bhavati Rita Karna Rasayana Kata. The reality of Satam Prasangat, those association of the advanced devotee, those who are always in reality, they are seeing Krishna. Prabhupada was seeing Krishna. In Bawari, I don't know if anybody went Bawari in New York. Prabhupada said, here is Vaikuntha. Now, Prabhu, look at this. When I saw this, when I heard this many years back, I could not reconcile in my mind. How can Prabhupada see in Bawari is all homeless, hippies, and he sees Vaikuntha? It's like, honestly, I even felt, Prabhu, was Prabhupada lying or imagining? Or is it really he's seeing it? He said he's seeing Vaikuntha. So then you read Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila, chapter 5, text 18. The verse goes like this. Sarvaga Ananta Ashim Sarvaga Ananta Vibhu Krishna Tanu Sama Upari Adha Bepiyache Ashima Ananta. Very beautiful verse. We are explaining similar other day that Golok Vrindavan is everywhere. Golok Vrindavan is everywhere. Where Golok Vrindavan? Ananta, unlimited. And within unlimited, a portion is called Vaikuntha. Portion is called Ayuddha. Portion is called, and then there is a little closet, other day we discussed, like not closet, like a dark spot. It is within Golok, but nobody sees it. So when Prabhupada said, he sees Vaikuntha, I can see, okay, he is seeing Vaikuntha. He has that eye. It is the eye, the spiritual eye, not his material eye. So yes, reality exists with those devotees. And if we can follow, and you have a pure guru shelter, so no worry, you will be there by the master.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. If no one else has any question, then we're going to close it. What's going on? Someone has a little. Okay. Microphone. We're going to just chant.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
This is Bhavatush from New York.
Oh, Bhavatush Prabhu from New York. I'm very fortunate.
Dandavad. Prabhuji, I'm very fortunate. You remember me before the big, very nice, auspicious lectures I was about to miss. But I'm very fortunate now. I didn't miss it. So one thing in our life, when it is coming so busy life, we're materially, somehow you can say, hey, why you can make the family, why you can make all the clutter for this material life, you should reduce it. But sometimes it's already late, as you have family and everything. sometimes we can't go all everything, like especially 16 round chanting, which is there is no question about it. We have to do it, but in sometimes it comes we can't make it. Maybe in a row, like 2-3 days going pass by the same way. In those way, what is your suggestion? How we can proceed on? It comes kind of personal, maybe some other people's personal also, not all the Vaishnavas' personal things. So do you have short some?
Bhavatus Prabhu, you have asked a question, even I asked myself too, many years back, and I found that I'm going to share with you what I have experienced. I had a difficulty also when I took serious vow to go to renounce order. The unfulfilled desire in my heart was like popping up. I even thought of remarrying, or maybe, and then Krishna give facility even, more money, more, all these things comes. So then I was examining within my heart, but still difficult. Then there is a one point in life that worked for me. I can tell you from that experience. If you sincerely pray means with feelings, with tears, not that you have to cry, but with feelings, genuinely. Krishna within and outside association of advanced devotees, this combination, it purifies. You naturally feel like, wow, that strong laziness not to chant 60 now, or desire to remarry, or maybe, all these things actually disappears. It becomes very comfortable in the heart. You feel, you become more enthusiastic to chant, and you don't even worry about it. It becomes. So sincerely, if you keep on praying and associate with advanced devotee, guarantee, believe me, it worked from my own experience. So please pray. Pray to your Guru Maharaj, pray to Srila Prabhupada, and pray to, and associate with senior devotees.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. It's a nice answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So it's a 7:51. We can chant a little more, 2-3 minutes. Unless if somebody has any other question, reflection, or we'll chant a few more minutes. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Pramanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Mancha Kalpa, Tarubheshya Kripa, Sindhu Bhaivacha, Paditanam Pavane, Bho Vaishnave, Bho Namo Namo, Anantagari Vaishnavinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And we'll have some prasadam. Sorry, the Zoom, they cannot have prasadam.